Hi everybody, I have my main man Hayden here. And so lately everybody's been asking me for a little airbrush help using stencils. There's several different kinds of stencils that we carry, that different companies carry. Now, so there are Mylar stencils, which are made out of like a heavy plastic. They're reusable about 1,000,000 times. They're a little bit more difficult to use because it requires you holding it on the skin and spraying. Then there is adhesive stencils, and these stencils stick to the skin, which make it a lot easier. I would say overall these are more economical, but if I can help you with little tips and tricks to make them look better or help you use them, then that's what I want to do. So I'm going to show you how to apply a large stencil like this. You can just turn this way. So I'm going to roll up his sleeve. And then what I'm going to do is, if you notice, if I try to hold it down all at once against the skin, I'm going to get these pieces to lift. And even though his arm is straight, what's happening is there's no true way to get it completely flat on the skin. So what you want to do is hold it at angles that are comfortable for you. So what I notice is that if I hold it here and spray this part, all the areas are flat, so I'm going to get a nice flat surface. And if I hold it this angle, then I'm going to get all this on a flat surface. So watch how I would apply this stencil. So I would first, since I'm a lefty, I'm going to be spraying this side. So I'm first going to be spraying this section. So I'm going to start off with a little bit of red. And I'm just going to spray in the areas that are completely down instead of trying to attempt to spray the entire thing at once. Next, I'm going to go in with my black and just shade around the edges. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to be spraying lightly around the edges with my black to give it that shadowing. So I'm going to do all that I need to do at one time with each color. So I'm just kind of shadowing with black. I'm going to go, now I'm going to hold it from this section. And I'm going to hold that side down so that I can spray and fill in this side. Instead of trying to spray everything at once, I go section by section. And again, I'm just going to fill in and just go along the edge with my black to fade it. You remove your stencil and you have a nicely faded tattoo. You like it? Very cool. Alright, so this was just a way that you're able to, or a little help to get you used to using larger stencils. I'm going to apply another one on his other arm. So this is another really large stencil. And a lot of the times when someone asks me for this, what happens is it's so large, it doesn't fit on every little kid's arm. And it might not even fit on his. I mean, look at these guns. Anyways, turn a little bit this way and don't move. So when you have a stencil this big, again, it just doesn't lay flat on his arm. So we're going to go piece by piece. So I'm going to start off by holding at this angle. And I'm going to just spray in the areas that are flat. Again, I'll go back in with my highlighter color, with my black, just shadowing the edges. A little bit of an orange mist right now and move them around this stencil so I can spray the next section that's all down. So I'm going to just fill in these areas and move my fingers around to where I can fill in the areas that are all laying down. And again, I'll go back in with my black and just shade the edges. But don't be afraid to move your fingers. Just because you're moving your fingers doesn't necessarily mean you're moving the entire stencil. It just means that you're holding it down at different angles. Also, don't be afraid to get your fingers dirty. Typically when I'm working on the hand that I'm holding my stencil on, I'm wearing my glove. So I don't have to worry so much about my fingers getting dirty. Again, I'm just going piece by piece rather than trying to hold the stencil down all at once. And again, to finish off, just lining it up one more time. I'm going to finish off this section. just filling it in wherever necessary. You lift it off and there you go. You have a fabulous tattoo. Fast and easy, 3 colors, nothing to it. Okay, thanks for joining me. So now I'm going to give you a few ideas on how to dress up your existing tattoos, especially if you're working events that are pay per tattoo. I do a lot of birthday parties and company picnics, so I don't do a lot of pay per tattoo events. But if you are, or if you have a small birthday party, or you just have the time to dress them up, here are some ways to do so. I am going to be using one of these stencils that's like a kind of like a cloud cutout, and I'm going to be using it just as a little bit of background, just to dress up a normal butterfly tattoo. So basically I'm going to start off by just laying a little bit of light blue in the area, and I'm going to do it right here on her. So I'm just going to add like a nice little patch of like this kind of light blue. And I'm going to use my cloud stencil, if you can lift the picture just a little bit, and I'm going to just lay some clouds down by just spraying that edge and just adding some clouds in the background just to kind of make it that scene. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do is use one of my stencils that has just like a bunch of different stars on it, because I like those stars. I think that they're a nice addition. And I'm just going to add them to the bottom, right down there, and right around it. Just around here, and even a little bit more up there. Sorry, I'm trying to choke you. So I'm just adding some stars around it. The next thing I'm going to do is take my normal butterfly stencil that I would add, that someone would choose for an event. They looked at my display board, and I'm going to lay that right in the middle. But I'm going to do it with a white first because I want it to really pop. So I'm going to lay it right in the middle here, and lay it down with white. And now I'm just going to go back in with my pink right on top. Go right around the edges, fill it in. I'm going to go around with a little bit of red to darken it up on the edges, to give it that two-tone effect. And to finish it off, put a little bit of black right in the middle. Just to finish that off. Lift it up. Then I have a fast and simple kind of butterfly scene that you can just poof your glitter on, and you can have a scene instead of just your stencil. And this is a nice way to upsell your existing stencil collection that you already have. I get a lot of requests for stars. Stars are in right now. So I have this star stencil that just has 3 stars on it, and I'm going to show you how to use shapes to just kind of dress up your designs. So what I'm going to do is, I bought these wooden cutouts. I bought them from Walmart, I think, and they're in the craft section. So what I do is I use them as accents and highlights for my designs. So what I would do is just lay it on the skin, and I'm going to trace it along the outside with my airbrush. When you lift it off, you're going to get that outline. And then what I'm going to do is use my stencil to just go right over it, fill it in with white, make it pop. And then I'm going to use my other cutouts of different sizes to just keep on building off of this existing one. And again, I have my small stars that I can add in there as well. So what I'm going to do, again, is just add some more stars, maybe one up here, and some down here. And then I'm going to add some more of my star outlines. And I'm just poof on a little bit of glitter. And I find that this is really something that's fast and easy to do by just using things that you might already have just laying around. Alright, very cool.